And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. How are you? Boy, we're on a heat wave here. It was 42 when I sat down. We're up to 44 now. It's happened over the last couple of 3 hours in the early morning hours. How are you? I hope fine. We'll get a lot warmer. 82 is where we're headed. We're going to have a special guest coming in this morning, the Bailey Volunteer Fire Department. They're here to talk about the haunted house. I think you and I went there last year and checked it out and done some videos with them.
I couldn't get you in.
No, I won't go in again this year either. A lot of people love it. It goes to a great cause. They're going to tell us all about it. Robbie McClure will be in a few moments to talk more about that. One of the things that goes on during the month of October there. We've got a lot of Halloween things that are coming up, fall festivals with churches. I hope you'll let your kids take part in all this. It's a fun thing. I saw Lamar, I don't know if I've had a chance to post it, is doing their pumpkin decorating contest. I know we got in some pictures yesterday. We'll see if we can get some of those posted today if we didn't do it yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a blur, so to speak. It was busy, to say the least. Let's go to Collinsville now. Let's go to the First Baptist Church and get us a good word. Brother Paul has our message this morning.
There are a lot of things that separate the rich and the poor in this world. Did you know that according to Forbes, the 10 richest people in the world are worth a total of over $1.7 trillion collectively? The richest person in the world is said to be worth nearly $250 billion. The poorest people in the world, however, have little to nothing to their name and must count on others to help them survive each day. The points of separation are enormous, and we could speak for hours about the ethics and implications of all that. But Proverbs 22:2 teaches us a greater reality when it comes to the rich and the poor. It says, rich and poor have this in common: the Lord is the maker of them all. I don't believe Solomon said this in an effort to bring down the rich a few notches with a stark reality, but this proverb does bring home for us a great truth that God has made us all. We tend to look at each other through different stereotypes and segregate ourselves based on all kind of criteria. This is true even in our local churches. Statistics show that the average church will not reach anyone who is much higher or lower than the median income in that church. Maybe a greater focus on what we all have in common could serve to unify us instead of separating us. God made us all. God sustains us all. We are all susceptible to disease, sorrows, and temptations. We are all desperately dependent on God for all of life, and God can raise the wealth of the poor and reduce the rich to bankruptcy if He so chooses. The world could be a much better place if we could focus on what we all have in common as those who have all been created by the same God. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back, your friend Scotty Ray. Good morning to you. It is Tuesday, October the 22nd. This year is flying. I'll have to pull up my little calendar that does the countdown to Christmas, but it is some kind of getting here. Thanksgiving is on the way. We've got next will be Halloween and then followed by Thanksgiving. Get us all in a better mood, and, well, you know where I'm going with that. It's a good time of year to be with family and friends. As we start looking at headlines that are shaping America this morning, the Girl Scouts, they make the news today. Why? Well, their annual fees are going to more than double to be a member of that. Rising costs are making things tough. They don't want to cut out any programs, so they will double the cost to be a member. Sure hope they know what they're doing there. I'd hate for a program like that to go away. It's good for little girls. But, as we all know, with the rising cost of everything in America, the extras, families are having to pick and choose what they do. It's tough out there. More of the same here of those folks who want you to pay for things is the Biden administration has put a freeze on over 8 million student loan borrowers for 6 months. That's the people they haven't already paid off. 8 million. Put it on freeze for 6 months. Again, I've got problems with something that you didn't do having to pay for somebody else. I think a lot of people feel that way. Boeing workers. Boy, this is getting deep here as we see that Boeing has been shut down. As there's a strike going on as they try to get more money. Here's, again, unions in some cases are good, and others it just drives the cost They're wanting 40%. I think the company has offered them 35%. They still hadn't gone back to work. That's a compromise is what's that called. Again, I'm not a worker there, and I'm not a member of the union. I'm a consumer. It's getting tough out here. They'll vote on it this week to see it happens or not. Honorable, and before I get into this, I haven't read everything of the context of how it all started. Arnold Palmer's daughter is, well, she's upset at Trump for comments that he made about Arnold. Are you familiar with all that?
No.
We're not going to go into it, that's for sure. He went into a rant, and he was joking, I assume. And, well, his daughter says it was very ugly of him to say those about her father. We'll leave it at that. If you were at the rally, then you heard it. Let's see here. Biltmore, do y'all know what I'm talking about? Asheville, North Carolina is going to reopen for the holidays. So many people go there for the Christmas lights. It would be a shame for it not to be, and it will reopen in time to have people come. I'm sure that this affects a lot of people's jobs as well that take part of this each year. Biltmore, it's something else. Hope you can get a chance to see that one day. Do y'all remember the movie Carrie? Well, I didn't watch it. I'm not into scary movies, but so many of you love those shows. You remember the movie Carrie? Stephen King, they're going to start making a series out of this now, going back. As I was reading this, I didn't realize this. He was working somewhere. He wrote the story, didn't like it, and threw it in the garbage. His wife dug it out and told him he needed to finish the story. As we all know, that's sort of the one that put him in the forefront for everybody, these spooky movies. He's good at what he does. I'll give him credit. I just don't want to see his work. That's just me. As we go to, there are many reasons that I guess Americans don't think of being a cop, a patrolman on the streets. I got two cases here of this morning. I wasn't there. I don't know what went on. We have a former Ohio cop that his trial is beginning this week. He responded to a call of someone in a garage. They pull up. I think there is some body cameras, and I have not watched it. He shot someone thinking in what he said was a gun in their hand. It ended up being a cell phone. He's on trial for murder. I wasn't there. I don't know the cases. I know I wouldn't want to be one. We go across the pond to London to where a police officer fatally shot a motorist. And here's his case. He's been acquitted of this. They charged him with murder, and he got off after he went to court. They did a roadblock. They were chasing I can't remember if it was a murderer or if he was a bank robber. Whichever the case was, they did the chase, and the guy starts ramming the police officers with the car. He fired a single shot, and it struck the suspect and killed him. He was charged with murder because there was no weapon in the car.
The car is a weapon.
Exactly. And the jury found it that way. He's been cleared of that. But think about that. As you go to whatever job you do, think about the actions of your job being under such scrutiny of anything that you do you could go to jail over. And we wonder why we don't have people signing up to be cops. Now, again, I'm not taking sides on that first case because I don't know all of the details. But I do know I watch a lot of cases to where it makes you scratch your head and wonder. I couldn't do the job. I respect those who wear that blue every day. It's tough out there. Oh, this is heartbreaking. Where was this? What state was this as we go to here? San Antonio is where this is. Parents leave two kids in the car to go in to grab something out of a store. The toddler that's in the car goes into the glove box and grabs a firearm out and shoots the baby. The baby died. Those are the things that we don't think of could happen in life, isn't it? I hate that. It's just awful there. We do have some arrests that happened in Minnesota, and they should be. I'm tired of this, of our universities. They are taxpayer-funded, most of these universities. This one no different. Minnesota, 11 pro-Palestine protesters have been arrested. They basically went in the college and locked themselves in. Interrupts everything. We can't have this. I'm not the only one who believes that. It's just on and on and on. It's not just the Palestinian protesters. It's all types of people that want to protest this, that, and the other. They are getting back results now, and as we go back to that first attempt on Trump's life, the Secret Service is where I'm going with this story. They have found, what is the Southern technology word for this? Flaw in the slaw? They have found something. But we already knew this. As the local cops were there and they were on the radios going, AR, meaning this guy's got a gun on a roof. Secret Service wasn't even monitoring that, nor had they even met with the police to have a plan. Was it on purpose? I can't tell you that. But it was the worst case of the Secret Service that I've ever seen. The head of that is now gone. I don't know who the fella is, the lady that ran Pepsi. She's out. They got somebody new. Is he any better? I don't know. But I don't care who it is. We need good protection for our presidents, sitting or retired. You can't have this. That was an awful excuse. We watched that unfold. I'm not telling you anything you don't know on that. We had someone that was posing as a security guard. Did I say that right? Security guard? I think I stuttered. Security guard. He faked his way into a Taylor Swift concert. One can only imagine what he was up to pretending to be a security guard. I'm not sure what gave him away, but they got him. He's in jail now. That almost reminds me of, what was the bodyguard? The guy that was, the Whitney Houston story where the guy was just so infatuated with her. Things like this happen every day. There's people out there that we need to be protected from, isn't it? Y'all knew that also, didn't you? Let's see what else we got going on. Now, this one just really takes the cake. It's not in the U.S. Where is this? New Zealand. When's the last time you took someone to an airport? You're not going to see them for 6 months. Sometimes it's longer than that. You give them a hug. They're trying to start this I'm shocked, at the airport. Cuddling. You cannot hug someone for more than 3 minutes in New Zealand at the airports is what they're trying to push. They don't want flights delayed. There's bigger issues in this world than that. Just saying. We'll be right back with your weather forecast in just a moment as we get this Tuesday underway to get our day started. We'll be right back.
When I was elected to the state Senate 9 years ago, my goal was to bring a new generation of conservative leadership to the Capitol to get things done. I'm Jennifer Branning, and I'm running for the Mississippi Supreme Court to do the same thing. I've written legislation to lower taxes and reduce regulations on farmers, manufacturers, and other businesses in Mississippi. On the Supreme Court, I'll use my experience and conservative values to always interpret the law, not to rewrite it or bend the rules for anyone.
Accidents happen. If a deer jumps out in front of your car, go see the professionals at Chet's Paint and Body. Chet can help you navigate through this confusing world of insurance by providing photo estimates to insurance companies and the right to choose the body shop of your choice. From a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. That's Chet's Paint and Body Shop.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome back, and let's get into those record highs and record lows as we look at this. What was it, 1963? It was working on a night moves, wasn't it? Bob Seger. It was 90 degrees on this date back then. Back in 87, we had a cold day. It was 29. Burr. Today's forecast, again, we've started out at 42. We're at 44 now, headed for a high of about 82. Look at the sunshine we've got all over the state. Even 85 in Greenwood will drop to 83 down in Natchez, and should see 85 in the Laurel Hattiesburg area. As we move east into Bama, 83 there in Demopolis. We'll even see 81 Birmingham over to Troy, 82. Montgomery, a little warmer if you're headed in that direction today. Should be about 84 is what we're expecting. And yet again, we can't have any fires today. Fire danger conditions, as you'll look at this. We don't have any burn bans in Lauderdale or Kemper anywhere close to us, but heed this, don't burn. Conditions are very, very dry, and it could cause a fire quickly. Firefighters don't need that today. As we look at the temperatures, normal weather out in California may make its way this way. warmer weather here on the eastern side of Mississippi into Alabama as well. Now, our 7-day forecast jumps up 81 today to 82. 0% chance of rain for the next 7 days. I don't see a drop in there. We'll get to a warm 84 tomorrow, 85 for Thursday and Friday. Over the weekend, 84 on Saturday. Nighttime lows will be roughly in the 50s, mid-50s. And Sunday, a little cooler, back to the 70s we go with a high of 77. 79 starting out next week on Monday. As we roll through this, we'll hit some more 80s, and then the temperatures start to change as we get into November. Look at this. By November the 2nd, we'll hit 76, and by the 3rd, we're into the lower 70s, 72, 73. Again, our biggest chance of rain will roll in on October the 31st, and it is not big at all. Only a 24% chance of rain moving in. These grass patches are catching it, aren't they? They are. We need a little rain. As we look at our fishing forecast for today, here's what we've got up. Major time this morning started at 5:30. It's good till about 7:30. We've got another chance, but it's going to be dark. 5:45 is when that will happen. Good to about 7:45. Slight chance of good fishing somewhere around 1:30 with J&J. Now, the wind's going to be calm, becoming southeast around 5. What's happening on the hunting side, and let's go out to Wimberley Taxidermy. We've got our perfect time this morning. Well, it ended at 6:20. You'll have another chance there as work ends somewhere about 10 till 4:50 this afternoon until dark. So hang in there. It'll be pretty good fishing through then. Now, again, your day rating today is average. Sunrise is going to hit at 7:04 this morning, and the sunset will hit at 6:13 if you're going to be up a tree hunting this afternoon. Good luck with that. Let's see what else we've got. Let's look at radar. We hadn't done that yet. And I also wanted to bring this up. Everything's calm. This is going east of us, way east of us, as we pull this back up as we look at the National Hurricane Center. Oscar, still a tropical storm moving along at 40 miles an hour, moving north-northeast at 9 miles an hour, way away from us. Nothing to worry about in the Gulf of Mexico, which we are glad of. As we pull up local radar, here we go, Honda Meridian radar. Nothing happening in the state of Mississippi. Look at that. Or Alabama. We do get a little fog there at the border as we go into Chattanooga. Those areas, a little bit of fog. Some fog back out around Austin, Texas. And again, we always see it up around Knoxville, Tennessee, those areas there up into the Carolinas where they're starting to get snow. Think about those folks in North Carolina. A lot of people trying to help that out, but nothing big going on. It's just dry, and more dry as we look at this. Now, again, we're going to be live at about 4.5, 5 minutes. As we're getting ready for the show. We'll find out what's going on with the haunted house. Robbie is here to tell us more about it. We've got flashlights. We're going to make him talk. The secrets within the haunted house. We'll be kicking off here in just a few moments. Odie's got coffee brewing. I hope you do too. Join us. We'll be back live with the show beginning at 7 o'clock right here with the Scotty Ray Report.